With this bet, I can guess stones out of horses' hooves or mend fishing nets.
Right, stop that. Silly.
Well, you're in your little room and you're working on something good. But if it's really good, you're gonna need a bigger room.
Well, hello, it's Dexter and me again, and we're out and about. It's bright and early. Well, it's early, it's not very bright. On a Monday morning, we've been up since 5 AM to get out for what we hoped would be sunset. What we hoped would be sunrise, to take some pictures with the Fujifilm 16mm f1.4 for this video. Sunrise didn't happen, but we took some pictures anyway, and I'll pop them up later at the end of the video for you to have a look at them. Yeah, the reason behind this week's video is Fujifilm has just announced, or just released, its new 16mm f2.8 lens. Brand new, fantastic lens, I gather. And it got me thinking, is there still a place for the 16mm f1.4? It's much older and bigger brother. So yeah, that's why we're out and about this morning. We've been up to one of our favourite places to take pictures. It's a little unclassified road just off the Swansea Valley. If you know the area, it's towards a place called Castle, and it affords lovely views across to Pen y Fan, which is the highest peak in southern Britain, about 800 odd metres, when you can see it. I don't think we saw it much this morning. And it's just a nice place to come. It's very, very peaceful, it's very tranquil, and we love it here. Anyway, we're going to head off to destination number 2 now, which is a forest somewhere near Ystrad, just above the Neath Valley. So yeah, we'll see you when we get there. Right then, Dex, here we are. Looks a bit creepy in here, doesn't it? Oh well. Right, well, I think we got some decent images to take back and put on the computer. Well, I hope so anyway. I don't fancy coming back out again. It's freezing. What do you think, Dex? I think he's seen some sheep somewhere, so he's really excited. Anyway, let's get back home. Whoa, right then, that was a bit urgent. Anyway, we're back home now, but apologies for the attempt at comedy for today's introduction. Only I filmed this video on April Fool's Day and I fancy doing something silly. Anyway, the 16mm lens. Is it still a worthy purchase today? Well, let's have a quick look at the specifications of the lens first. I'm not going to go into these in any great detail. There are loads of videos on the web for that. The lens is a 24mm f2.0 full frame equivalent, there or thereabouts. It's weather sealed, but there's no optical image stabilization. It's got a lovely chunky numbered aperture collar with 1/3 stops, and it's got a clutch operated manual focus ring, though it's important to remember to disengage this if you use back button focus with the camera set to manual focus, otherwise back button focusing won't work. It's got a 67mm front thread, so quite standard, and it looks really well balanced and feels really well balanced on my new Fujifilm X-T3, especially now I'm using it with a battery grip, and its cost is around £820. Closest focus distance is 15 centimeters from the sensor, and while it's not a macro lens by any stretch of the imagination, the close-up images it can produce are simply stunning, to be honest. But specs aside, the most important thing about this camera is its image quality, and in that respect it does not disappoint at all. Whether you're shooting close-ups, not quite macro but close-ups, portraits, or as I use it mostly for, landscapes, the lens produces absolutely stellar results. Even wide open at f1.4 corner to corner sharpness is excellent, with no fall off that I can see and no vignetting that I can notice. Perhaps somebody with younger eyes than me might see it, but I can't see anything at all like that. The lens is simply flawless. There's no visible distortion, though I do believe Fuji corrects for that in camera anyway. Bokeh with the lens is really pleasing, due no doubt to the 9 rounded aperture blades that the lens has got. But I use this lens mainly for landscape work, and between f8 and f11 for me, that's where this lens really excels. It is super sharp, super detailed, super contrasty. The lens is a phenomenal performer for wide angle landscapes. The lens isn't perfect though, and there are a couple of minus points. First off, it is expensive, and the autofocus system on it isn't particularly fast. Also, it's a little bit noisy for video use. I mean, I'm using it now to film this, but if the lens is hunting for focus, you can sometimes hear the lens motor struggling to keep up. And I'll see if I can demonstrate now. Oh, hello. Oh, that's a scary close-up. Sorry about that. Yeah, so if you're using the camera's internal microphone, you are going to pick up some focus motor noise. But to be fair to the lens, it's quite an old design, and it wasn't built for video. It was built for stills photography, and there it really does excel. But all the lens's physical and image quality attributes aside, the reason I love this lens so much is the reason I love Fujifilm so much, and that is that the lens has soul. It's hard to describe. You can't pinpoint how you feel shooting with a camera system and lens, but the Fujifilm system and this lens with its manual focus clutch and aperture collar has soul in abundance. Yes, the new f2.8 lens is probably going to be a better, faster focusing lens and quieter focusing lens, but this old lens gives you a certain tactile joy in its use and wonderment at its image output. Right at the very start of this week's video, I posed the question, is the 16mm f1.4 still a worthwhile purchase? And all I can say is yes. If you've got a Fuji X-mount camera, this lens should be in your kit bag or on your shopping list. It really is that good. Anyway, as usual, thanks very much for watching. I hope you found this in some way useful. I'll pop some images up now at the end of the video, taken with the X-T3 and the 16mm f1.4. You can see for yourselves how good the image quality is. As I said, thank you for watching. Dexter and I will be back next week. We'll see you again very soon. Bye bye.
Across the evening sky, all the birds are leaving, but how do they know it's time for them to go? Before the winter fire, no thought of time, for who knows where the time goes? Oh, who knows?
If you use the Fujifilm X-mount system, I'll pop some images up now at the end of the video, taken with